Hello everyone, I am making this short video to give a glimpse into my classroom. This is Dr. Patel and I teach biology at Harmony School of Innovation, Kerry. So let's go on and have a little tour on what is going on in my classrooms. So this slide is showing a little glimpse into what my Schoology folder looks like to my students. This is one of my honors biology class, and I have opened few folders, one folder every quarter, just so you can look at how the structure has been. My folders start with a learning target. I want my students to know what they are going to learn and what they should expect for the day. So that those details are in the learning target. That is followed by a do now. Do now generally is a 5-10 minutes activities that students begin as soon as they log into the Zoom class. It gives us a buffer time and allows me to take attendance while students are coming in one after the other. That is followed by a lesson or a virtual activity. Either it is the explore piece or the explain part, depending on where in the topic we are. Last part of my lesson is exit ticket. That is about 10 minutes, last 10 minutes of my classroom. Generally, I like to use multiple choice questions for exit tickets since it allows me to give consistent practice to students every day of multiple choice questions. When we are learning the topic, multiple choice questions are going to be easier, simple topics for review of vocabulary. And towards the end of the topic, I start including previous year's STAR test questions on there, so my students get practice of those as well. This slide is showing a glimpse of 1 week of lessons for AP Biology. Few things I would like to highlight here is I like to use daily videos and topic questions both from College Board, so my students get consistent practice regarding those. For daily videos, we create a discussion board. So if you look at the do now, they are generally daily video College Board discussion boards. Those allow my students to practice writing. It is either asking them to summarize the topic that they learned in the video, or it would give them a prompt about that topic and to answer the prompt or to elaborate. That way, there is collaboration, they're interacting with each other, as well as talking about the topic. For delivery of lessons, I like to use Nearpod since it allows me to make the lessons interactive. It increases the engagement for students because students are not passively listening to me talking about the topic. Instead, I make it interactive, so they are responding to the Collaborate board, have quiz questions in between the topic where they are supposed to respond. They have open-ended questions that then I use to clarify any misunderstandings that they might have. Finally, some of the lessons would include quizzes, especially after we complete the entire topic. Quizzes would allow me a deeper check for understanding. Plus, it would allow students to redo it and use it to review and practice the topics, the vocabulary words especially. For my AP class, I also like to use Pearson activities and tutorials so students can work on their own pace and practice the topic better. Differentiation is really important to me in my classroom, and wherever possible, I like to include student choice in assignments. This was a recent assignment where students were learning to create cladograms. As you can see, they were allowed to choose what organisms to include in their as you can see, they were allowed to choose what organisms to include in their cladogram. So once they selected 4 to 6 organisms, they were supposed to make the table listing their traits and then create the cladogram corresponding to that table. As you can look at the student submissions, some of the students chose to make their cladograms on paper, take a picture of it and submit it, attach it on their assignment. One student used Google Drawing tool to digitally write down and make the cladogram. Another student on the right hand side used images of animals to arrange her cladogram made digitally. So I always tell my students it does not matter to me what tool they use as long as they show me that they understand the skill. In this case, creating the cladogram. Check for understanding is another important part of my classes. I like to check for understanding periodically, very frequently in my classes. The first example you see is a Nearpod Droid slide. When we were studying cell organelles, I used this slide where students labeled the cell organelles after we had gone through the cell gizmo lab. Apart from Droid on Nearpod, I like to use the other interactive activities like quiz. Sometimes I create the quizzes and convert them into time to climb so students enjoy the game part of the Nearpod. I like to use Collaborate board a lot as well to activate prior knowledge, to check for understanding, to create more interaction opportunity between students so they are able to communicate with each other, share what they know with each other, and read other students' perspectives. The second example is Schoology assessments. Generally use a lot of exit tickets made on Schoology using either multiple choice questions or labeling a diagram or match the following activities. And the last check for understanding you see is after the lessons. I like to use interactive tools like quizzes and Kahoot. So students find it easier to practice and repeat the quizzes multiple times. So it also acts as a review and it gives me an insight on what areas of the topic students might be struggling with. So we can include that for a class-wide review. Those were some of the things. Let's look at a brief glimpse of my classroom now. More of us have had food poisoning than the earlier eye infection and ear infection. It's pretty common. This was me using a poll to activate students' prior knowledge about the topic we were about to learn, which is bacteria. Because there are a lot of good ones as well. Okay. Hey, you learned a lot about bacteria yesterday. Post something that stood out for you. Something that you did not know before and was remarkable. Oh, bacteria contribute into this. I see 2 of you responded. Come on, I want everybody to participate. 9 of you responded. Still waiting on 11 of you. Those who have already made their post, go through the other students' post and see what stands out for you. That was a brief clipping of my classroom of me using Collaborate board to activate students' prior knowledge and begin the lesson with students thinking of what they know about and posting it on the Collaborate board for to share with other students. 10 minutes is a very short time to showcase what is going on in my classrooms. But I hope you enjoyed this short glimpse into my classroom. Thank you so much for watching.